All right, we're live. How's everybody doing? Comes the booty shake. Here comes the booty shake. There it is. Booty shakes. Yeah, yeah. Cat dance. Here it comes. Yeah. More like a cat rub on the suitcase, but it works. So how you guys doing? Hey, Soren and Daly. See that grungy stuff. There it was. Crazy girl dance. Yeah. This part of the song here, though, where that happens, I don't like that part. I really don't like the part where they fall face to face like that, or side by side. Do you notice that happens a lot in anime? I wonder if anyone's tried to do that in real life and they messed it up. Because if you try to do that in real life and you mess it up, you're going to break the face of whoever you hit, and you're gonna hurt really bad the back of your head. Maybe even crack your skull, but you will break the face of whoever you land on. That's for sure. Because the front of the face is weaker than the back of the head. Never try to do that. Like every time I see that, I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. I don't like those two falling side by side like that. That's no. I don't like that at all.
Let's do it.
Let's see what this bottom one does, huh? I don't even know what it looks like. I'm just picking it because different music, possibly. I forgot that it was the big head. It's big head. Let's see if big head has different music. We did do big head a while back ago, but I forgot about that. Big head. Come at me. Yeah, it's different, all right.
Calm down. Persona.
Very different.
You're
You're
mine.
mine.
Looking cool, Joker.
There.
Cool. Looking
Persona.
cool, Joker.
You're mine.
You're mine.
Let's
Looking
go.
cool, Joker. Okay, guys.
For that art to suddenly change into normal head, that is very
Okay.
dramatic. All right, let's do another one. Excuse me.
Now's our chance to strike.
What is this music?
It's time. Hold on.
Fire attacks won't work.
Persona!
Sudama. Go down.
Cool. blast moves? It's weak against those.
Come. No.
Pretty much screwed. Just do this again.
Nice, Joker! Right in their weak spot. Graceful.
Oh no!
That's a rare
Oh wait. Oh yeah.
Persona! This isn't it. Persona! New way! Ravage them!
Ravage them.
They're all knocked down!
Do it!
That was incredible, Joker! Finish him!
Okay.
All right.
I know. 4 days, man. 4 days. I don't know, Soren. Sometimes I think I've heard him. I don't remember. He's not very common in him talking. I wonder if any of this music is copyrighted that it's playing in this. Probably. Probably get my channel taken down. Like, no. How dare you?
Now's our chance to strike!
Let's go.
You're mine.
Looking cool, Joker!
Uh-oh, I hit the wrong one.
Joker took one out! Alright!
They're all...
Nuclear power is its weak point. Touch my persona!
I mean, it sounds very copyrighted to me. You know what we're gonna do? Till we win? Goodbye. This sounds super copyrighted. What? All right, we got him. Jesus, come on. I'm trying to win as fast as I can. It's still taking forever.
It's a step forward. All right.
I only barely won. I don't know. Is that starting to get worried about these? What about the Joker?
Alright, the first move is ours!
Something else.
This enemy's weak to wind. Don't use bless skills. Fire attacks won't work.
Persona!
Okay.
All right.
Take that.
Witness my resolve! 2 enemies knocked down. There's more where that came from.
My turn.
Pass the baton and
Persona! Let's go, Captain!
Did.
Tear them apart!
Okay, guys. Let's do it! That's a rare
We
one.
keep getting these rare ones quite a bit, huh?
It's time. There.
Ooh.
They're all knocked down.
Aw.
That was incredible, Joker. This'll end it.
What? What is this? Hold on, we'll keep this on for a little bit.
Okay.
Here, let me look it up. We'll look it up. Persona 5. What are they called? Equipment, outfit, music. There we go. Okay, this is from Persona 3. The music here is from Persona 3. So we're fine to listen to that. That shouldn't be copyrighted. Well, I mean, it's copyrighted, but you know what I mean.
Now we can move on
It's
to the
fine to
next
be
area.
streamed in a game.
There's a treasure chest.
Come on. That took forever. I don't understand. You mean in his outfit? Instead of pulling it from nowhere, he has it in his outfit? Yeah, there's a few outfits that have a holster, I think. This isn't one of them, it looks like.
First move is ours.
Persona. Not this.
Fire attacks won't work.
Let's go. Don't rush it. Let's be civil about this.
Witness my resolve. Ice is the shadow's weak spot. Persona. Persona. Ha! Persona. Such a pain.
What's a persona?
I always forget she absorbs fire no matter what.
Get ready.
Good job, Skull. That's two we don't need to worry about.
Jesus Christ, how many turns do you get to take, bitch?
Time for my comeback with style and grace. Finishing.
You just had 4 turns!
I'm in trouble.
Jesus, this game is terrible mechanic-wise.
Yeah! Victory!
Like, why are the mechanics of this game so bad? Like, the combat in this game is either you make the game look like it's the easiest fucking video game you've ever played or the hardest video game you've ever played. There's no actual, like, in-between. So unsatisfying. This really is the least satisfying combat of any RPG game I've ever played in my life. Like, I hope they never use this kind of mechanics in the combat again. Alright, I was just seeing what the stuff was. It's done.
Okay. Okay, we're done.
Okay, Austin. Thank you,
Let's
man.
go.
Oh, you don't have to do both, by the way. That doesn't really make that big of a difference. You can just choose if you want. Like, you don't have to, like, try to artificially boost my numbers or anything. Don't ever worry about that. Just, you do your thing honestly, you know what I mean? Let's see.
You can hear a bunch of voices in the wind.
Stop that! I don't want to think about it.
Oh, I need to heal. Can we not? I have to do it manually because the game keeps specifically using up my guy's heals, which, like, he's almost out of SP, and it's like, you know who we need to use? We need to do this guy. Use up all of his SP. Like, dude, you, like, first off, he's the last person's SP you want to use. The second, like, don't you think you should, like, base that off of like how much SP is left? Like, whoever has the highest should do it instead if it's available to them. Like, no, it's just they keep taking all of his. He's almost out because every time I do auto heal, they take it from him. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. Double check. Yep. All right. They finally, he had to get that low before they finally did someone other than him. The cool side. What does that mean, Xavier? I wish they'd stop putting me up against this fucking team combo. I really hate fighting these ones because of her specifically. It's super annoying how powerful she is. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, you don't kill her on turn 1, she takes like 100 turns. It doesn't make any damn sense.
One more. Let's go. Late for regret. Panther, watch the
Can you guys stop missing all of a sudden? Like, what the hell's going on? There was like 5 misses in one match.
Hey, that's a rare one. Don't let it escape.
It's time. It's time.
All right. Let's see who we're gonna do next.
There.
They're all knocked down.
Just
That
stay
was
there.
incredible, Joker.
So this was Ultramarine.
Finish him.
Okay.
Shadow defeated. Let's go, Joker.
Next outfit. Let's do the Starlight. That's not listed. All right, let's find another website that lists it then, maybe. Hey, welcome. I forgot I moved that to a different screen. My bad, guys. I didn't actually get to see it because I moved that to a different screen. Give me a second. My monitor broke, and so I had to change my setup. Alright, hey, how's it going, Shadow King? Welcome and thanks for following. 1 second while I find... I'm trying to find the music here. Huh, yeah, I'm not finding it. That's weird. The only thing I could find is an incomplete list. Like, here's one that lists it by the costume, But they don't say the name of the costume. They just say where the costume's from. They're like SMT4 costume D. Like, come on, man. What the hell that doesn't mean anything to me. What the fuck is an SMT4? I don't know what an SMT4 is. That's terrible. That's a really terrible way to do it. This one is even worse. This one lists the track name and where it's from, but they don't list what outfit they are. What the hell? These have to be the dumbest people on the planet. Okay, hold up. We gotta main screen this. All right, the game's on pause for now. We gotta main screen this. Apparently, this is that hard to find. Like, everyone on the internet is a fucking moron when it comes to listing this. You list the outfit, and then you list the thing it's from, and then you list the track name. This is some basic shit. This is like basic organizational stuff. Like what are these 2-year-olds? Like, I don't understand. Ugh, this is cancer. I'm not having fun right now. What is this cancer, dude? This is super hyper cancer. Why is this hard to find? I think we got to look it up individually by costume, maybe, because there's no list. Like, every list is fake. Like, it's just the worst thing I've ever seen, dude. Like, this is done by people who just are just as stupid as you could humanly. Okay, let's look this up each and every time. In fact, I honestly just don't fucking care anymore. That's how much this is annoying. This is so badly done. But first off, it should be listed on the fucking website for the game instead of having to fucking rely on people who are stupid as fuck. But, you know, whatever. Can't have any fun. Because as always, the internet is a fucking failure. Remember back when it used to be able to give me information when I wanted it. Like, the only time something shows up in Google search results is if it's fucking worthless information. If it's actually useful, it's not there. It's just not there. Like, or it takes hours to find. Completely worthless, dude. Trying to have a little bit of fucking fun, but no, nothing. As always, nothing.
Hey, that's a rare one. Don't let it escape.
Ravage them!
They're all knocked down. That was incredible, Joker. This'll end.
You know, everything, dude. It's within the past few years is when it happened, dude. The more and more Google became political, the worse and worse the internet became as far as finding
That
stuff
enemy
on the
was
internet.
really weak.
Treasure chest spotted.
Super annoying.
Oh. Alright, the first move is off.
Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam.
You're so gorgeous on the face.
Not bad.
Do, 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 do. Does every enemy have to use AoE attacks now? It's really cheap. Bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam.
Only one more. Let's go. Hey, that's a rare one.
That's just not rare. That's just common as hell. I'm getting bored. Like, I'm starting to wish they just wouldn't show up anymore.
They're all knocked down. That was incredible, Joker. Okay, guys. Let's do it.
All
There
right.
you go, Shaper.
Okay, we're done. Hurry up and move on.
No, like anything, dude. They can't find basic shit anymore. I'm not talking about complicated things. Just simple stuff that I know for sure is on the internet. They can't find it anymore, man. Algorithm manipulation. Like, instead of it trying to show you the most relevant information to what you're looking for, instead there's like a filter that it goes through to try to like politicize the things you're looking for. It's super, super toxic.
Some other way.
So fire is a weak point.
Don't rush it.
Don't waste ammo on this one. Guns are useless.
Starting to feel like it should be illegal for companies to be political.
Something
Something
else.
other than curse moves. Those won't work. This enemy's weak
That
to
would make
wind.
them more competitive again. I don't give a fuck about your politics, you stupid piece of shit company.
Let's do this.
Like, the odds of a $1 billion corporation having the same politics as a normal person is about 0%.
You got their weakness, Panther.
Look, like, when are they not gonna use giant AoE attacks that nearly one-shot my whole team?
Watch your health.
You're mine.
I'm about to drop the game down to fucking easy just so I can rush through it at this point. It's starting to annoy me.
Just what I'd expect from you, Joker.
Like, if that would have critted someone, I would have died. I would have got a game over because of a random RNG crit, because they do nothing but use giant AoE attacks that nearly one-shot my whole party every fucking time I don't fucking prevent the enemy from attacking. It's super toxic. I really hate this game's combat. Like, why can't they just do traditional RPG combat style combat? It's 100 times better than this. Maybe 1,000,000 times.
Let's go.
That shadow was crazy. Marvelous. We look you up.
Hey, think about this. Really? I can compromise. Huh?
Not bad.
So,
We're done here. Let's go. Yeah! Victory!
All right.
The platform!
It's funny. It's definitely. Nah, I don't even want to talk about it anymore, man. It's just toxic. I'm thinking about switching games for the day.
Mister.
This game's just annoying me
mister.
now. Anything I have nothing of, I want to buy at least one of. You never know when there's like some kind of requirement or something like that that you have it for a specific thing that needs to be done.
I'll just add this.
Well then.
All right. Can't decide what I want to play instead. I was thinking about switching to a different game that also has an annoying combat system. Like, oh man, I'm like, come on, what is going on? What's up with all these recent RPGs that have a weird, annoying combat systems? Should we do what you said and just bump it down to easy? I don't know what you mean. Should you do?
Seems like
What
you've
are
all
you
gotten
talking
used to
about, man?
fighting. Nice job.
You should play the game however
Cool.
you have the most fun with. Like what I do should have nothing to do with what you do. Everybody enjoys the games differently. The combat, I don't think the combat in this game is fun. So I might just like try to minimize it as much as possible and like drop the game down to the easiest difficulty, because the only thing that the difficulty affects is the combat.
Run those shadows over.
Like I think that this is like genuine. I'm not even joking when I say this has the worst combat of any RPG I've ever played. I've never even played a game on the NES that has a less interesting combat system. It's all or nothing. I hate that. It's such a it's fundamentally flawed. It can't be repaired with like a small patch to change a couple of the mechanics. No, it's fundamentally flawed. The whole you
guys.
chain your attacks so that they never get to a fight, hit you
God.
one time, and then you win the fight, or you don't do that and then they kill you. Like, do you want to know what I have to do in order to win this floor without any danger of dying? There's only one thing I can do. I can't, on these floors, any of these enemies, even though they're so weak, these enemies are so much more weak than me, I can run past them and they won't attack me. But yet, any one of them could kill me in one turn. Now, what I have to do is I have to take a list of all the enemies that can be on this level and what they're all weak to. And then, once I know what they're all weak to, I have to change my team. So, I need to have... I need to get rid of... Specifically, I need to go into my team. And get rid of Ryuji. And replace him with Yusuke. And then I have to change out 2 of my personas. So I have 2 more different elements covered that I don't have covered right now. With AoE attacks. And then at that point from then on, the enemies would never get to take a turn. Like every fight, they just don't get turns anymore. I just kill them on first turn. Because I don't feel like doing that. What that means is they get to take a turn. And every single time the enemy takes a turn, no matter how weak they are, there's a chance that they will just kill me on that one turn. And it's happened to me multiple times in this playthrough alone. And that's so supremely unsatisfying. Like, even the developers I feel like they know it's unsatisfying, because they decided to write lines like,
I'll charge a
that
clearance
is so easy. That was nothing. Those guys were nothing. That was so easy. We just did that. There were just a bunch of pushovers. Like, every time you win like that, everyone on your team talks about how ridiculously easy it was to win. But then, if you just say, you take that same opponent that they're always talking about is so fucking easy, and then you just spend one turn letting the enemy have a turn, they could party wipe you. You should, like, that whole system of taking extra turns because you did a specific thing needs to go. Like, that's just not good game design for an RPG. It just doesn't work well. Because you have to balance the enemies around that. Like, when you know that the enemies might get one turn tops, you have to make it so that the amount of damage they do is meaningful to actually cause a risk of you losing with only one turn. And so it's just flawed, right? You win or lose based on a single exchange. And I think I understand why they would try to go with that concept, to try to make because then what you're trying to do is you're trying to make the fights faster almost.
Sweet, we found the train.
Because it's like you're trying to make the fights faster, but it actually doesn't still end up making them faster in most cases. In most cases, it still takes a long time. Like, and in the cases where,
Did you try the new drink that just came out? It's pretty good.
in most of the cases where it doesn't take a long time,
I can't tell what's new or old anymore.
it would be just as fast to do it on a different game, like a different RPG where you end the fights really fast still. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't work. That's a weird combo to have that. So let me see if I can explain. So one of the reasons, like I said, the main reason to make a combat system the way it is in this is to try to, like, make the fights faster while still trying to make them feel meaningful. So it's like you have the right party comp so that you just win the fight really fast and then move on to the next fight, and you don't spend that long in the fight. So this is the type of combat system that you can tell was made by someone who just is kind of bored by RPGs, turn-based RPGs. Because it's just like, they're too formulaic. Turn-based RPGs, you just figure out the right combination of enemy character skills, and then every time you get in a fight, you do the exact same character skills. And then that's the end of it. But, so they were like, okay, what if instead we make it so that it's all or nothing, basically. You win without the enemies taking a single turn, or there's a chance they might insta-kill you.
Forming at stores in the city a lot. What are
Oop, I forgot that even going into your thing shuts them up and they can't it doesn't continue the dialogue. That sucks. So I see why they did what they did. I just don't like it. I don't agree. I think it would just be better to how many of these things do I have? 13, huh? I think it'd be better just to go with the traditional turn-based RPG system. Because there's that buffer of, like, there's less unsatisfying, like, resets of your stuff. It's just, and then especially when you gotta fight bosses, because then with the bosses, they're like, well, we don't want the bosses to die in one turn, so we have to give them the ability to have enough HP so that they actually get whole
I
turns.
feel like curry all of a sudden.
And then,
Anyone else?
because of that, like at any point in time, like what you end up with is like the bosses will end up doing less damage. Like, did you notice that bosses tend to do less damage than basic enemies for that zone? That's right. They'll do less damage than the basic enemies of that zone, because the bosses aren't meant to be killed in one turn, so they have to reduce their damage. But then the problem still is that even with them doing a little bit reduced damage from the stronger mobs of that zone, which doesn't make any sense to me, right? It's like, oh, the bosses just have more HP than the standard enemies, but they have weaker attacks, or they have stronger attacks, but they only target one player at a time. But like either way, still, even the boss can still end up doing the same thing if it starts critting you. That's why that second major boss was super annoying, because he was designed around critting you to take extra turns. And so even though he did less damage than the stronger enemies of his castle, he still would party wipe you if he got enough criticals back to back. Out of my way, my treasure. Left, right, or middle. I don't know what you mean.
Persona.
Wind moves won't deal damage.
Yeah, see, ice
Use electric moves.
and
This enemy's weak
this
to
is there's all the strongest enemies of this floor are weak to ice.
The shadow's weak spot.
And I don't feel like changing my personas right now.
Let's go.
And because I'm not changing my personas and I'm not changing my team right now, I'm in this really bad place where at any point in time, because I don't kill all these enemies in one turn, they could just kill me.
Serves you right.
Oh, you're doing the turret thing. Middle, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Shadow defeated.
I don't put any stock in that myself, okay? So this is just for you,
I
obviously.
spotted a shadow, Joker.
Like, I already know what my fortune is. My fortune is the worst fortune possible. I know it by basic observational skills. I have observed that I have the
there's an
worst luck you
escalator.
can have while not being hit in the face with a meteor. I'm surprised I haven't died of cancer yet, basically. That's the only place where I am not unlucky yet, is death. But in every other aspect of my life, I have the worst luck you can have. I was born in a country that isn't third world nation. There you go. There's the other lucky spot I'm in, so that you can be impoverished and still have a decent life. And that's it. I haven't died, and I was born in a first world nation, in a nation that is wealthy. Those are the only lucky aspects of my life. Literally everything else that you could imagine would be bad is bad. And that's on that, and that is from the macro to the micro. Like all of my life, the major life things that have happened are bad, and then all of the small things, like, you know, if something, a piece of machinery breaking on me more often than it breaks for other people, or just like if I desire for a coin to land on heads, it's gonna land on tails like 70% more than it lands on heads. Like, that's how my life is. I'm on the lower end of the bell curve when it comes to
I'm
luck.
not done.
Someone has to be, right? law of averages means that there are going to be people who live very bad lives and people who live good lives, and most of the people are going to be in the middle. I'm on the bottom. I'm used to it. I've accepted it. It's just what's going to happen, period. There's nothing I can do to fight it. Because luck isn't real, right? So there's not like I can't like toss salt over my shoulder and then suddenly like change my luck. No, this is everything is predestined based on random factors that you can't control or calculate. And I just happen to have one of those
That was great, huh?
random occurrence of things that ends up so that I'm going to live my entire life and die having been incredibly low end on all things that require chance. If I can't manipulate the odds of a thing happening, then it's bad. On a long enough timeline, rather than me hitting see, that's the thing. Like I can be lucky on a short timeline, but on a long enough timeline, I always fail when it comes to any kind of luck. So what that means is like flipping a coin. If you were to flip a coin 2 times and you wanted to have a specific result, there's a chance that you're going to get 0 on that result or 100% on that result. But on a long enough timeline of you flipping that, eventually you're going to come to a medium spot where you're about 50-50, right? For me, instead of me getting to that 50-50, I'm always on the lower end of it, right? I'm on a long enough timeline. There's nothing in my life that has RNG that on a long enough timeline, I'm not on the bottom end of luck. There's absolutely nothing.
All right. First move is ours.
Like, I have to brute force my way past anything that requires RNG.
No.
Ice is
Why
a
do you
shadow
guys think I
protection
complain
word.
about RNG so
Fire
much
attacks
whenever I have
won't
to deal
work.
with it?
Don't bother with ice attacks.
Like whenever I have to deal with RNG in a video game or something like that, you notice I'm like super annoyed and I hate it.
Let me handle this.
It's because I already know the end result of my RNG. Jesus.
Just so gorgeous, Panther. Okay, guys.
Like her getting that critical, right? On this, if you just measure the amount of criticals I got by this one fight, then it seems like I'm lucky.
Okay.
But if you
Easy
add up
win.
all of the criticals that I've gotten from the beginning of this game to the end of it, I guarantee I get less criticals than the average. That's just how my life is. There's absolutely nothing RNG based that I've actually spent the time to measure where it wasn't in the negative, or I shouldn't say, yeah, on the negative side of the result. Now, I'm not whining or complaining about it too. I've accepted it, right? It's like a person not having a limb. There's nothing they can do about not having that limb. They come to accept it and they live their life around that. They adapt and they do things. I've adapted. And my main adaptation towards knowing that my RNG is the worst RNG on all of the planet is that I avoid RNG as much as possible. And I in all aspects of my life, I avoid RNG whenever possible. Even if it's RNG that you could normally manipulate, I still try to get rid of it. Now, you can't,
This isn't it.
you still, like, the problem is for most games, like, almost all video games have bad RNG. I mean, have RNG in them. So it's just like, I'm just screwed. And then there's times where I'm just lazy about it.
Don't rush it.
Like this, what I need to do is I need to go to that place and do that thing, but I just don't feel like doing it, man. That's why I was thinking about switching games. Because I know what I'm supposed to do right now to minimize the bad stuff that's happening to me, but I don't want to. Like, I just don't feel like it.
So fire is something other than curse moves. Those won't ice is the Shadow's weak spot. Time for my persona! Not finished yet. Can you finish it?
Yeah, see, it's like if you look at all of my combos, like I've got a bad combo for all of it. Just I need to be using Yusuke and change out 2 of my personas.
Panther. Let's do this! You got their weakness, Panther! What's the matter? That was incredible, Skull.
Heavy, dude, heavy. No, it's not heavy. It is what it is. Everybody has issues with something or another.
No match
Some
for
weird
me.
ass reason. I just like it could change too. Like I said, like if you think about it from a purely like math perspective, there is going to be people who live their entire lives and die having never gotten that medium, right? Like it's gonna happen. And there's gonna be people who live their entire lives and die to when they needed that coin to be on heads, it was on heads far more often than it was on tails. That's just the way statistics work, right?
Go down.
Like you either accept it or you don't, and then you're in trouble.
Let's do this!
Man, no, I'm just gonna do my normal side.
Yeah! Victory!
Like I'm not mad about it.
Okay.
I learned.
That's all it takes.
I figured it out when I was a kid. I remember when I was a kid, I was instinctively wishing for the opposites to happen. I started doing that when I was young. Whenever I would really want something, I would start trying to trick the world into giving me the thing by wishing the opposite. People do that all the time where they'll be like, oh man, I'm been real unlucky lately. What if I just want the opposite to happen? I remember I did that when I was like really young,
Treasure chest
because
bucket.
if something was bad, only that was the thing that was probably going to happen to me.
Do you use the school store? All their stuff is pretty mediocre.
And they sell out real fast.
Luckily, my life doesn't suck as much as it used to. Because, like, when you're a kid, it's 100% RNG. Your childhood is you cannot influence your childhood. Your children have very little effect of what kind of childhood they're gonna live. It's based solely on RNG. Were you born into a family that has money? Were you born into a family that is going to break up? Were you born into a family that is abusive? Were you born into a family that has their own external troubles as well? Like, you ask, like all these different things, and it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with that. Like, were you born into a family that's willing to try to do the research necessary to be able to like take care of you in the best way they can? Like all of these different things. Were you born into a family that has a community that is willing to support that family? Like, there's a lot of different factors. Like, were you born into a family that is living in a location where the schools of the public schools, because if you don't have the wealth, right, where the public schools of that location are decent? The answer to all those questions for me are no, like none. Like my like broken home, super abusive, like incredibly impoverished by American standards, obviously. Didn't even get to stay with even one of my parents. Places I went to were insanely abusive, back to back. Like, I never was never like, up until my mother finally got me back when I was already a teenager. All the people who I lived with were super abusive, with the worst one being a person who literally tortured people, like an actual psychopath. And just like all the worst things you can imagine. Like all the worst things you can imagine. Even, didn't even have access to public schools for the longest time because one of the places I was in, they were so abusive, and that they knew that if I went to a public school, it probably would get found out. So there was a time where I wasn't even allowed to go to school. like all the different, like I've been dealing with that since I was a kid, dude. I know all the different things. I could keep going on and on and on and on, but I'm not trying to give all kinds of personal details and stuff. But yeah, anything that has anything to do with RNG, I got the low end of it, man. I'm not mad about it.
Not that.
It is what it is.
Don't let your guard down.
Alright, let's see.
Get ready.
Why do I keep doing that? Like, I keep doing this when I already know what I need to know, but I still keep doing it over and over and over.
Those are its weaknesses.
It's just like, I'm just wishing I didn't have that and I could use my fire.
Persona! Captain Kidd!
You did it, Skull.
Yeah! Nice!
Nice work, team.
You have a life. Oh yeah, dude. I've joked about that. That's why, like, I don't have sympathy for anyone like killers and serial killers and just bad people who are like, my mommy did bad things and all this other bullshit that people try to make excuses. I'm like, nah, man. It's all about the decisions you make to decide whether or not you're going to be a good person or a bad person throughout your life. Because, like, I have the life of a serial killer. Like the backstory. I mean, I don't torture animals or do any of that shit. I'm talking about the I was raised by like the backstory of the history of my childhood is the childhood of a serial killer without me actually being a person who does bad things. Okay?
I should write
Is that simple? Like, and I don't kill people. I don't hurt people. I don't like the idea of even hurting people. Because instead of like, I don't even know instead. It's just, you just make decisions to not be a bad person. You're just like, no, these things are bad to do, so you don't do them. And you don't want to see people suffer. So you don't do things that would make people suffer. There you go. Or you're the type of person who likes to see people suffer. So you do things to make people suffer. Like, it's super simple.
Let's do it.
But yeah, like I see movies where like people like the movie Psycho and things like that, where all that, like, I'm like, what? That's it? Really? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Or some other movie where their kid was slapped around a little bit, and I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, oh, she beat you with a coat hanger or something, like locked you in a closet. Big fucking deal. Stop crying. Man up. Like, fuck these fucking, like, yeah.
Spotted us.
I don't like it when those people make excuses. You are responsible for your,
Three of them, but
for like, if you ruin someone's life, if you make someone else's life horrible by you doing really bad things to them,
looking cool, Joker.
you're responsible for it. Doesn't matter what happened in your childhood.
Cool.
Now, if you have some sort of, you have some sort of issues and you maybe don't think the same way as other people, and so you maybe say things sometimes, or have some weird tics and things like that, right? There's, like, obviously room needs to be made for people who have disorders like that, obviously, right? But if your problem that you derive from your from the crap you've experienced is, oh, the end result of all these things I experienced is that I'm going to do the same shit to everyone else or worse than what I went through, then you're garbage. and you should be treated as such. You should be thrown right in the trash.
Okay. And
But if it's led to, you know, but if you make like, if the things that happen to you, you know, you don't do those things, but you still have other disabilities or anything like that that has occurred from those types of things, there's nothing you can do about that. And you know, there should be allowances for that kind of thing. But nah, man, no sort of freaking sympathy at all, even the smallest amount, for people who use their past as an excuse to do incredibly horrible things to other people and even animals. You're just a bad person.
I need a drink.
Like, if that's what happens, you're just a bad person. You can stop being a bad person at
Latte
any
for
time.
me,
You can just
with
stop.
an extra shot of soy milk.
All right, let's see.
We made it to the platform.
I don't remember what else I needed. I don't think I really needed anything else that much. I think I got the
Oh,
minimum.
I'm sensing flowers all over the place. Let's scoop them all up.
Oh, is there an increased flower rate in this one, maybe? Super villain, though. There's not been enough radioactive waste for me to be a super villain, but a villain, yeah. I have a villainous
I
backstory.
want something sweet.
Just
I need a treat.
the only thing that doesn't
always have a
finish it
sweet
is
date
is
together.
me actually making the choice to not do bad things.
Joker, a treasure chest. Let's open it.
I don't want to spend any more of my lot picks because I want to save those for the next palace. Because otherwise I have to actually
Spot
craft
us.
them.
Okay, let's knock them out then.
Nope. How about we just run away instead?
Now your chance to
Ooh,
strike. Go.
might need this. Oh, it's just this guy. Nice.
Let's go. You're mine.
We're all knocked down.
I happen to already have the setup necessary to like take care of this guy without being in that much danger. The only danger is if he decides to attack Joker and he crits when he attacks Joker and then he attacks him a second time after that. So unless that happens, I'm fine. And especially because I got that massive damage increase from the throw.
Down. That was incredible, Joker.
Oh, this guy should be weak enough. Give me an item. What do you get? Sooty
An item that was worth all
Yori.
that talking.
Oh, I can get more?
Not
You gave me a
bad.
second one. That's cool. I didn't know I can get a second item. That's cool. I only thought that worked with money.
Yeah.
Whew,
Nice.
man, it is getting hot in
Spectacular
here.
victory.
Over 80 degrees already. For winter.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. Why? I'll be right back. I gotta check on the temperature. See what's going on. I might switch games. I haven't decided though. Oh, I'm not perfect. I fail at things too. But I never go out of my way to just hurt people. It's just misery brings misery. And I don't gain pleasure in other people's suffering. And that's a big thing too. Like you can train yourself to do that. You can train yourself to actually gain pleasure from other people's suffering. You shouldn't do that. Because it might take you to a dark place. Trust me, I've been around people who It's not good. People who are like that are not good. Sometimes it's a mild thing. Like I've seen people on the internet who are like that. Like for instance, a good example are the people who like The Last of Us 2 because it makes the people who like the original miserable. A good amount of those people, they're only like that on a small scale. They're like, ha ha ha, the people I don't like are suffering. I love this. That's awesome. Huh? I like this game because it was designed in a way that makes people who I don't like suffer. That's the small scale. And when that is escalated high enough, you start to get the people who actually torture people for fun. Anyways, I'll be right back. I gotta check on the air. Back. Sorry, I didn't realize I was I was muted. Here's one example of how my bad luck worked out. Like, I'll just talk about insurance, right? So, I'm one of those people who kept falling into the gap of the people who just get screwed over. So, for instance, during that housing crisis, when Obama was in office, I was one of the people who got laid off and lost my job. So there you go, right? I fell into that group of people that were very unlucky because of that. And so then what happens is I get a different job that is nowhere near as much. It doesn't pay anywhere near as much as I busted my ass for my whole life, and now I get like nowhere near as much money, right? And then the whole insurance thing, right, from Obamacare, all that was changed, and I happen to have been in the crack where it was the worst possible result. So what ended up happening was, because I lost my job because of the housing crisis, and I went to this other place making a lot less money, I made just enough money that I ended up having to pay way more for my insurance than I used to have to pay, but get nowhere near as good as the insurance. The point where the insurance was basically a joke. But then still not making so little money that I was just getting free insurance, with in quotation marks. Right? Like, it's like, come on. I had to fall through both those cracks. Like, I couldn't have bumped anything along the way. No, I had to fall through both those cracks just perfectly. Fuck off. It's just the way it is, man. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, that's cool, Ghost Shaper, dude. Congrats. Did I save? I don't think I did I? I think maybe I did. I wasn't paying attention. Let's save just in case.
Let's do it.
Oh no, I didn't save. Okay, that would have been bad. Yeah, I do want to switch games. I don't know what I want to switch to for the day. Just not in the Persona mood today. I'm always in the mood for the music and whatnot. Just sometimes not the actual gameplay stuff. Sometimes it's just kind of meh. Not put to be.
Joker, a treasure
I think
chest.
today's one of those
Let's
days.
open it.
Ah, stop giving me the locked ones.
No gas, no emissions.
You know what? Wait, hold on. I got an
Make a
idea.
pretty green car.
What's all right, let's let that thing do its thing. I think maybe I'll play Nier, because remember we were on our second playthrough of that game. That's a game you need to play through multiple times to get the full whatever experience from the game.
Whoa! We've been spotted! Shut him up, Joker!
We were spotted, huh? I think not. Like we have to fight.
Somewhere.
So I might switch to. I have it installing now. I'm thinking about switching to Nier Automata, which means I'll have to shut down the stream when I do it, and it'll take some time because I need to set up the thumbnail, and I need to create a thumbnail for it. In fact,
Cool. Looking
Let's
cool,
go.
Joker.
There.
and then set up the metadata and all that.
Looking
So
cool, Joker.
when I do finally switch, it's gonna take a while to switch. But I'm not doing it right now because the game's downloading right now. It's 30 gigabytes, so it'll take a little bit. But after it's downloaded, I'm
Okay, guys.
gonna go ahead and shut down the stream and create a thumbnail for Nier Automata and all that other stuff. And then I'm gonna play that for today.
Man, that was easy.
I can't promise I'm gonna play all the way through it though. I just don't feel like playing this at the moment, and I don't hate the game or anything. Just at the moment, I just want to switch up, do something different.
Some other way.
It's weak against psychokinesis.
Kodama! Go down.
Go down.
Cool. Looking cool, Joker.
And these see,
Ice
I
is
was
the shadow
it's just
of
ice. Why do you gotta be ice? I hate you.
Let's go.
You're mine.
Nice, Joker. Right in their weak spot. We're done here. Let's go. A spectacular victory.
Okay. Easy win. They were
I'm trying not to fight that much because I already have a good amount of money right now that I think I'm fine until at least the next time I go to a Mementos or the Fresh Maker or a what is it called or a Palace. I'm mainly wanting the flowers and stuff for him. I wanted to buy a few extra things from him.
Looks like
Dang, Ghost Shaper. That's crazy. I hope he enjoys it. Quotation marks. All right, let's see. Equipment. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Hold on, let me heal. Okay, now, brain, tell me why I'm thinking I'm forgetting a thing. Maybe I'm not. Let's just go. Ah, I remember what I wanted to do now.
hey, that's a rare one.
time.
Don't let it escape.
Don't rush it. Persona! New way! There!
They're all knocked down. That was incredible, Joker. Okay, guys. Let's do it.
Okay. Easy win. They were nothing.
Bam, bam, bam.
Now's our chance. Go.
Oops. You're mine.
Cool. Looking cool, Joker.
Persona! Ravage them!
Cool. Looking cool, Joker.
Yours.
All right, okay. Pass the baton and follow up.
Just shut your mouth. What? No!
Let's do this.
My AoE attack is fire, so now I'm screwed. How dare you? Wait. I was hoping it would kill a second one so they don't possibly party wipe me. Yay, buffed. Double buff, yay!
2 fulls left. Let's do this.
Mario Bounces good stuff too. That's cool, man.
Sona. Who's next?
A spectacular victory.
I don't think it says L.
All right.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're just
They were
saying
too
that
weak to
Luigi
bother
was.
with.
Yeah, Luigi's model was in the game. When you said L is real, I thought for a second you were referring to the statue, but that's not what that says.
Hey, mister.
The prophecy is complete. Yeah, I heard about that a while back ago. Alright, that's it. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, the problem is that they were too damn lazy when they made it. So the prophecy isn't like real. He was just in the files, but he wasn't actually he's still not a real character because Nintendo was lazy as shit when porting the game. Like that port is among the worst of all of the emulation of Mario 64.
They saw us? Seriously? Well, let's erase them.
That's not
All
good.
right, a chest. Joker, it's a treasure.
Now I have to fight a bunch of people.
3 of them. But
Can I just run? I don't feel like fighting a whole bunch of people. Let's see if it lets us run. I don't even know how to run. Assist, rush, analyze, target, intel. How do you run away? Okay, that's just not listed as one of your buttons you can press. So
You
stupid.
ready?
Okay.
Of course, that's how I did it. What's proven? No, he's not. He's not real. Can you play as him? Go ahead and pick him when you start the game up. Tell me if you can play as him by picking him. He's not real, dude. Being such a downer today, crushing everyone's hopes and dreams. He's not real, he's fake. He's just leftover freaking files in a game. In a game, he was removed. Oh, okay, I remember what I wanted to do now. Let's save. So the question is,
Let's do it.
since I'm done here, do I want to like leave and then do the other, and then in the middle of the thing do the thing, or do I want to end it now and then start setting up the stuff, and then when that download switch, when download is finished around the time I'm finished setting everything up. Oh, stretchy stretch. It's like there's a lot of like, whenever you said you could play him, chill out. I'm being such a downer today, dude. Yeah, exactly. He is part of the cut content, not was. Because he's not in the game. You can't play as him. Bastards. That was the okay. That was the minimum effort I expected, honestly. The minimum effort I expected from Nintendo was for them to make Luigi a playable character. But not only did they not give the minimum effort, they gave less than the minimum. Like not only can you not play as Luigi, but they didn't even increase the aspect ratio of the game and clean up the textures. It's the worst port of N64. You could literally play any emulated version of of Mario 64 and it's better than the port. Like any emulation, every emulation ever made for that game is better than the port of that game. The bastards. I'm still mad at Nintendo for that, dude. I paid money for that. I paid money for the worst possible version of Mario 64. Oh well. Bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. You've said it 3 times now, Daily Shave. Yes, I said that. Well, technically, you didn't say the same thing because I corrected you one time. But yeah, that is the problem. I'm not digging Nintendo recently, man. I'm digging Nintendo less and less. A lot of their decisions they make are just kind of like very greedy recently. Past year or two, they've been very greedy. I don't know, man. Very iffy. But yeah, I'm gonna switch games. I gotta set up some stuff. The game's like 2/3 done downloading, so it'll be done downloading before I'm finished. I'm gonna switch to Nier Automata. And we're gonna play that for today. And hopefully it'll be enough of a mix-up that I can like stop being so negative. Because I'm like in a super negative mood. I've been negative all day today. But if I'm doing something different, hopefully that'll change things, right? So like let's try to play that game a bit and see what happens. But I gotta create the thumbnail and all that too. So it's gonna take a minute. I'm gonna have the stream down for about a half an hour or so. And then I'll bring it back up under a different game. I'll put a timer up once I have the thumbnail and stuff done. Still, I want to just give me about a half an hour or so. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Thanks, and hope you guys stick with me and you guys are here when I come back, and hopefully I won't be so negative when we get back, right? We'll see. We'll see. I'll do my best. No promises. All right, later.